So, how to get new buyer and seller clients as a real estate agent on LinkedIn? The answer lies within a 3-pillar framework we're going to be going over in today's video. These pillars are attracting, hunting, and social selling, and when you use all of these 3 in a specific sequence, you're going to get a perfect storm that gets you new real estate clients. Now, for most real estate agents, LinkedIn seems like a foreign land. They have profiles out there, but most real estate agents aren't really using it, or maybe they're using it as a marketing tool that posts automated content on their behalf, and they don't get anything out of it. So it's a platform that is widely misunderstood and widely overlooked by real estate agents. And the reason why I think that is the case is because most real estate agents simply lack understanding of what to do on the platform that actually gets real estate clients. But if you know how to use this platform the right way, it could easily add you an extra 10, 20, even 30 deals to your bottom line with a relatively small time and financial investment. And the first of these 3 pillars is going to be attracting. So we're talking about what we can do on LinkedIn to get people to come to us and want to work with us. And there's 4 steps to this. The first step that you need is to create your client avatar. If you don't know who you want to attract and who you're going for with your marketing, how can you expect to know how to create your profile, what to post, what to message? So it really all kind of boils down on what you want to have as your clients. Is it first-time buyers? Is it upsizers? Is it downsizers? Get very clear and specific on this. The second step is to construct a LinkedIn profile better than any of your real estate agent competitors. Because if you look like every other real estate agent on LinkedIn, it's not gonna cut it. So we need to be able to create the best profiles we can that resonate with people we want to attract. A professional headshot picture of you as the profile picture, a local area or street as a cover photo, a great headline, because the headline is the first thing people read. Most agents say something like realtor on their headline, which is fine, but if you want to take things further, your headline should explain in 1 sentence what your service is, who is it for, and what's the core benefit. For example, it could say something like Austin Realtor, helping professionals upsize to their forever home. Then in your profile, you've got something that's called About section. This is a section where you have the opportunity to be more comprehensive and explain who you are and what do you do. Getting this right is the key to success on this platform. And if you'd like to get a free template on what exactly to write in your About section, just comment About in the comment section below and we'll send that over to you for free. Now, once your profile is set, the next and the third step is to start posting content. So tip number 1 is to post at least 3 times per week with original, unique, specific content. Now, I know if I said something like 5 times a week or 7 times a week, people may do that for a week, or they would just get overwhelmed and just kind of fall off the tracks and then never do it again, right? So it's better to be consistent, post great quality content and post actually less than to set the bar too high and then not reach it at all, or just use like bad, boring content, right? Because the content you put out is the most important part of using LinkedIn, but also any social media platform. So if right now you're using some software to post automated links or articles, or using some CRM or something like that to create content on LinkedIn, that has to go out of the window because it does not work. It makes you a spammer on this platform and ultimately destroys your LinkedIn success. So the main principle on LinkedIn that you should focus on is to make your content value driven instead of sales driven. So instead of thinking on how you can sell your service, you should be thinking about how can I create conversations, how can I provide insight. And also you should be thinking how you can connect people, because there's different professionals on this platform, right? How we can connect those people in your market together. So because it's a professional platform, so you can leverage that a lot. So as you know, real estate is a relationship-based business. The more you provide referrals for other people, the more they're gonna provide referrals to you. The more people that know you, the more people you know, the more business you're going to get. But when it comes down to social media, for some reason, most real estate agents tend to forget that completely and then just try to spam or just try to sell their services directly. So you may be right now wondering, well, what do you actually post then, right? What are the actual posts you need to create? Well, next I'm gonna walk you through 6 content types to post on LinkedIn, specifically as a real estate agent we've seen to be the most successful. The first type of content is local city news. There's a psychological bias we have in our subconscious mind where every single one of us has something called proximity bias, which means that the more closer things are to us, the more closer the things that happen to us are, the more we care about those things. People care about their local city, their local neighborhood the most, obviously. So any new updates like new city developments or new big events in your local area, any hottest local news, talk about that. Provide your thoughts and opinions on that, how you feel about it, how you think that impacts the local people, what that might do to your local city, what it might do for the local real estate market, for local buyers, local sellers, and how that might impact them specifically. Now, the second type of content type is going to be posting 1-sentence questions. Now, these are very specific and easy to create content that can get you a lot of reach, a lot of engagement, and what it ultimately means is something like this. You may just post something like, what do you think is the most overrated neighborhood in Austin? And then you hashtag Austin. Or you could post something like, help me convince a friend what makes Austin the best city to live in. Or you could also post a picture of a new decor item like a picture of a living room with color lights, and then write to there, color lights like this, yay or nay for your new home. Now, the third type of content is going to be community content. Any and all local events or community events you go to, take casual pictures of yourself at the event, you with the local people, and capture that atmosphere of those events. Then in your actual post, you can write what you learned from the experience, about the connections you made, or about the vibe of the overall event. Now, the fourth type of content is going to be personal achievements. This type of content type tends to work really well on LinkedIn because it's part of the culture there for people to celebrate their professional achievements and the achievements of others. So share your occasional personal achievements. You may reach a personal goal, you may sell a specific amount of houses, may receive a certain award, and so share that and talk about what lessons you learned along the way and what really caused you to get that success. Now, the fifth type of content for real estate agents is going to be real estate insights. As you're staying up to date with the real estate industry and the local market, you're reading the National Association of Realtors, you're reading the Inman News, you're looking at the market data, you look at the trends on MLS, on Zillow, and so on and so forth. Obviously, you as a real estate agent, you have a strong finger on the pulse of the real estate industry and the local market you're in. So the local market changes, the new shifts in the economy, the future of housing market in your area, and so on and so forth. Provide your own personal thoughts, perspectives, and opinions on that, and relate it back these things to the local homeowners and what that means for the people you specifically want to attract. A big mistake I see from real estate agents all the time is that they just share market statistics or share some sort of like a screenshot or something like this. But for the average person looking at it, it doesn't tell them anything. They don't understand what that means for them. They don't understand what that means for their decisions for buying or selling a house for them. And so if you're kind of like that middleman that makes this information easily digestible and it makes it relevant to the local homeowners, you're going to be providing a lot of value. And in addition to this, any concerns you're noticing a lot of people tend to have about the local real estate market, or maybe some common questions that are rising in the market, address those things as you're covering those statistics. Emphasize the concerns, alleviate the concerns, and answer common questions in your posts. Now, the sixth type of content type is going to be client success stories. Now, if right now you're posting just sold, just listed, posts like that, stop. Because if you do that, you miss out on tons of leverage you would have otherwise with that one single post or with that house you're selling that could make a great successful transaction happen again. So after a successful transaction, get a picture of you and the client and then write an actual story of when you walked through what was the client's situations before you started working together and what they wanted to do, what concerns and doubts they had before, and then explain what you did with them together and why you did them, and what was the end result of that work you guys did together. How did the client's life change as a result of working with you, and how they felt about it at the end. Now, when you're creating these types of posts, most of your posts can be plain and simple written text without any videos. That's what's native on LinkedIn and what works, especially if you have a limited time. Now, those are the 6 content types you want to be creating on LinkedIn that seem to be the most successful right now. And here's 3 viral content tips every real estate agent should apply. You should first write the text you put out yourself. Don't copy paste things or have someone else do your content or something like that, because you're harming your credibility, but it's also going to be very, very generic if you do it that way. Number 2, you should add a line break after every sentence to make your post easily readable. And number 3, never post links to other articles or the algorithm will punish you and it's going to limit your reach. Now, the 4th step to the attraction process is going to be leverage LinkedIn groups. So you're posting these things on your profile and the people in your network and their network will start seeing your posts. In addition to this, you can actually join local LinkedIn groups to post your content. That's another way for you to get a lot of extra eyeballs outside of your sphere on this platform for free without paying anything for it. Now, you don't want to just randomly post different posts on these groups, right? But you should only post in groups when you feel like the content you're putting out is relevant to the team of the group and it's adding actually value to the group. So that's going to wrap up the pillar number 1 of the 3 pillars to the strategy. The second pillar is what I call hunting. So in addition to posting content on LinkedIn to draw people in, we take proactive measures on this platform to actually build your audience and get seen by more local people. There's 2 steps to this. So the first step is to send connection requests to your ideal client. So the beauty of LinkedIn is you can actually use a tool called LinkedIn Search to search for people who live in your local city based also on their job title, and you can start sending out connection requests to those exact people to expand your network and connect with those new people. Now, there's a limit to this. There's 100 connection request limit per week. And so you want to tap into all of this every single week, search for your target audience and send 20 connection requests per day. Now, not every single person will accept that, but roughly 25 to 30% of people will accept your connection requests. So you should be getting about 5 connections every day, and that results into about 25 per week. Now, over the course of the year, obviously that expands and you may be able to get up to 1,500 to 2,000 connections every single year just by running this one strategy alone. Now, step number 2 is going to be network hacking. Now, this is one of my favorite little tricks for people to use because it is literally just being smart about who you interact with and the eyeballs that you can get in front of. Now, the way network hacking essentially works is that it enables you to get in front of tens of thousands of local people even if you don't have followers yourself. And I'm gonna tell you exactly how to do it. So step number 1 is you wanna find local people that have large audiences on LinkedIn. Now, you might have come across them already naturally. You may already know a couple people on your feed that you're seeing all the time, or you can also proactively search for those people. So for example, the creators of most popular local groups could be one of those people. Or if you search Austin on LinkedIn and see what posts come up on the search, you'll be able to start to find these people if you don't know yet who they are. Now, what you're looking for here is active users on LinkedIn in your local area. People who work actually locally and people who actually talk about local stuff. Then once you start finding these people, create a bookmark for yourself, bookmark folder, type something like local LinkedIn influencers in your browser, and then start bookmarking these profiles into that little folder. And then as you do this, you can start sending them the connection requests and then say something like, hey, at their name, I love your content. I would love to make sure I'm seeing it as soon as you're posting. And now that you have the people in this bookmark folder you created, you want to go and check every day to see if there's a new post and then comment on their post. Leave a comment that acknowledges, compliments, reflects, and questions. Now, what do I mean by this? When I say acknowledge, you want to start your comment by acknowledging something that you liked about the post itself. So if I saw a post and I was like, I love the part when you said, and then say whatever they said in the post, So that's me acknowledging and it's also complimenting them. People love to be obviously complimented, and then after this you can reflect on the topic, so you could continue to say something like I have found that, and then add your own personal experience or expertise to that. And then lastly, you can question something to get them to respond back to you or further continue the conversation. So you could say something like, I love your post, love when you said this, I've seen that this, what do you think about this? And you're basically leaving a comment, complimenting them, engaging them, and then saying, can you engage back with me? And what that's gonna do is that if the person who posted the post replies back to your comment, that's actually gonna push your comment towards the top of the post. And so when you do this, you get in front of tens of thousands of local homeowners again and again over the course of the month, and you start getting a bunch of local inbound connection requests from the local people. So that wraps up the hunting pillar. Now the first two pillars, attracting and hunting alone, can generate you a lot of clients and a lot of reach as is. But when you combine the last pillar, your results will skyrocket. So the last pillar of this LinkedIn framework for realtors is what I call social selling. So far, we've been building our audiences with a plethora of tactics, and you may be wondering, well, how do you effectively turn that traffic? How do you turn that audience into actual business? Well, the answer lies in social selling. This means that anytime someone comments on your posts, anytime someone replies back to the comments you leave on other people's posts, anytime somebody becomes a new connection with you on LinkedIn, you want to start a social selling practice in the private messages. Now, I do want to emphasize that this is called social selling, not selling. So we're not going in there and start sending out messages saying something like, if you need a real estate agent, reach out to me anytime, or something like that, right? They're already seeing your profile, so they already know you're a real estate agent in the local area if you build that correctly. Your goal with social selling is actually not to sell, but it's to build actual relationships, befriending these people and treat them like your friends from the get-go. So have an actual conversation and seek to connect with these people. Show interest in them and what they're doing without asking for anything in return. Then after you've had these people in your network for a while and you chatted with them briefly, you can start shifting the conversation towards the real estate topic. So for example, you may send a message saying like, hey, can I pick your brain for a second for a project I'm working on? And when they say yes, you can say something that directs the conversation towards real estate. You could say something like, so I'm selling this property in X neighborhood. I'm thinking whether to make it a virtual 3D tour for a home or just a walkthrough video. So let's suppose you were in the market yourself. Would you prefer to see a 3D tour or a walkthrough video? And then they reply, and if they happen to be obviously in the market, they would now likely bring that up. And if they're not, which will be in the most cases you talk with people, you could then ask them, by the way, do you happen to know anyone who's looking to make a move? Our team is doing free home analysis reports for homeowners this week because the home prices are shifting recently. So that gives you some context for what to go for in the conversations. Actually get to know people and then naturally shift the conversation towards the real estate topic. So those are the 3 steps to this framework. At this stage, you may be feeling like, well, that's a lot of work. How am I gonna do this, right? Well, in reality, this is actually pretty simple and pretty fast to do. All you have to do is to block out 20 minutes a day. First 5 minutes you want to spend sending out daily connection requests, those 20 connection requests. Then 5 minutes after that, you want to send out obviously the private messages. And then next 5 minutes, you want to leave comments to 5 people on your local LinkedIn influencers lists. And then 2 to 3 times a week, you create the posts of your own that are original, unique content to your local market. So it takes less than half an episode of your favorite Netflix show, and it has the potential to get you a lot of deals, a lot of business coming in from this platform, 100% organically, 100% for free. So hopefully you found this video useful, and if you did, hit the like button below and I'll see you in the next one.